Hello, amazing people. I am so glad you're here. Today, we're going to discuss how to become emotionally intelligent. When I first read the book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, something didn't sit right with me. It said that people raised by emotionally immature parents often don't feel loved, but that wasn't my experience. I did feel loved. So I started asking myself, why is it that children who are raised by emotionally immature parents have different experiences? What makes the difference? Hi, I'm Nurse Ashley. After years working in the ER, especially during the pandemic, I watched people fighting for their lives while silently losing myself in the process. My world started falling apart from the inside out. Anxiety, depression, panic attacks, they became my normal. And even as a nurse, someone who trained to save others, I didn't know how to save myself. In today's video, I want to share what I discovered about emotional maturity and how it is essential to nurture your mind, your heart, and your body. For 4 years, I went on a journey from feeling broken to becoming whole. I needed to understand, what does wholeness really mean? How does that relate to emotional intelligence? And more importantly, how do you actually embody it, feel it, and become it? What I uncovered changed everything. Through that journey, I discovered the exact strategies that help even the most sensitive nervous systems, such as individuals with ADHD, to successful people who have every reason to embody wholeness, yet still struggle to feel happy, at peace, energized, or simply enough. Along the way, I found the missing keys to lasting self confidence, genuine self esteem, and inner security. The kind that doesn't depend on your achievements or anyone else's validation. And that's why Reinvent You with Nurse Ashley exists. Because this isn't about sugarcoating the healing journey or offering one size fits all advice that only works for a few. This is the real deal. The perfect blend of neurology, psychology, and emotional intelligence that helps you rewire from the inside out, no matter where you are in life. But here's the truth: where you start matters. And for most people, they need to start at the beginning with a concrete foundation that they can build upon brick by brick. Because the reality is, most of us don't have the sturdy foundation. So, first, you need to start there. So, that's exactly what we're going to do today. By analyzing your mind, your heart, and your body. These three parts of you hold the power to become emotionally intelligent, embody wholeness, and most importantly, feel happy, peaceful, and purposeful. For a long time, I didn't fully understand what it meant to be emotionally immature. Sure, we've all seen it, the person flipping you off in traffic, arguing just to be right, criticizing, blaming, or playing the victim. But I wanted to understand why. Why do people act this way? What causes it? And most importantly, can it be changed? Here's what I discovered: you're either programmed for survival or programmed for safety. And most people are unknowingly living in survival mode. Since the pandemic, life has been filled with uncertainty, higher costs, financial pressure, global stress, and fear. And that constant tension that doesn't just live in your mind, it imprints into your nervous system, your body, and most importantly, your heart. When your brain stays in survival mode for too long, it rewires how you think, feel, and act. You might notice it by an all or nothing way of thinking, emotional reactivity, or a lack of openness to new perspectives. This isn't weakness, it's a nervous system stuck in defense mode. And when that happens, your emotional intelligence, your ability to stay calm, empathetic, and understanding starts to fade. In a prolonged state of fight or flight, Your brain focuses only on time, the body, and the environment. You stop seeing the big picture. You lose the mental energy to be patient, kind, or reflective. So when conflict arises, you don't respond, you react, you attack, you defend, you withdraw. That's not who you truly are. That's your survival brain running the show. To truly understand people and to heal yourself, you have to look at these three parts: the mind, the heart, and the body. Each one tells a story of how a person thinks, loves, and copes. When someone's survival mode has taken over, one of those parts is usually disconnected, and it shows up through emotional immaturity. You might see it in parents, coworkers, leaders, healthcare workers, or even yourself. And after the pandemic, this disconnection has become even more common than ever. Not because people are broken, but because you've all been under prolonged stress without knowing how to regulate it. The truth is, stressors in your life have changed. You have changed. And it's time to recognize that. Because once you start rebuilding emotional intelligence, integrating the mind, heart, and body, you don't just understand people better, you understand yourself. You become someone who leads, loves, and lives with calm, clarity, and compassion, having a better understanding of the whole world around you. So, for this to happen, the first foundation of emotional intelligence begins in the mind. When we look at the mind, you're really asking, how well does this person handle stress? How quickly do they recover after emotional hardship? Do they take accountability or do they blame? Do they see challenges as opportunities to grow or excuses to stay the same? Because here's the truth: how you respond to stress reveals everything about your emotional intelligence. Do you yell, numb out, shut down, or run away when things get hard? Or do you pause, breathe, and find strength in the storm? People who can stay calm, grounded, and reflective, who look back and find lessons in their pain, are emotionally intelligent. They understand that even when life feels impossible, this too shall pass. This is the power of the mind: to not live in the past, to rise above limiting beliefs, to bend like a palm tree in a hurricane, strong, resilient, and unbreakable. But emotional intelligence doesn't just happen. You're not born with it, you build it. It requires rewiring how your brain responds to stress, uncertainty, and emotion. And that's exactly why Reinvent You with Nurse Ashley exists. It's not about quick fixes or sugarcoating positivity. It's about using the science of neuroplasticity, psychology, and emotional intelligence to rewire your mind for calm, confidence, and clarity. No matter what you've been through, there is a solution. Because when you can look back at your past without emotional change, that's called wisdom. And the more wisdom you obtain over time, the more emotionally intelligent you become. Eventually, you reach a place where you're no longer controlled by your emotions. You guide them. You live by one powerful truth in this moment. It truly does become. It's not about what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it. And that's where real freedom lies. The next part of mastering emotional intelligence lives in the heart. It was because of my mother's heart that I felt loved. Even when things around me were chaotic, her love was something I could feel, not just see. When you analyze the heart of a person, you're really looking at connection. You can feel when someone is truly present, when they're listening, not just hearing. You can feel when someone genuinely cares, when they're trying to help you through a difficult situation. But the heart is also expressed in small things: the hugs, the laughter, the forgiveness, the empathy for others, even to those outside their circles. It's in how you celebrate other people's wins, how generous you are with your kindness, and how easily you forgive after feeling hurt or betrayed. The heart determines how deeply you connect, not just to people, but to life itself. Because emotions have power. They can either make you or break you. You can let heartbreak and disappointment close you off, turning your heart cold, guarded, and distant. Or you can choose to heal, to find something in the pain, to learn from it, and to open your heart again with even more compassion. And most importantly, that wisdom. That's the real choice every human faces. Will I let pain define me, or will I use it to deepen my capacity for love? Most people were never taught how to do this. They weren't given the emotional tools or modeling to process pain in healthy ways. And that's why so many self improvement strategies fail, because people are starting from completely different emotional foundations. The journey to emotional intelligence isn't one size fits all. It's a personal journey, one that unfolds at your own pace, in your own time, as your heart feels ready to open again. And when it does, that's when transformation truly begins. The third piece of emotional intelligence is mastering the body. Your body is like a steel trap. It holds on to every negative experience you've ever had. That's why it's so deeply connected to your nervous system. When you tune into your body, you can instantly sense how safe you feel, how stressed you are, and whether your fight or flight switch is still turned on. Once you begin to regulate that system, your body becomes a mirror, reflecting your self esteem, self confidence, sense of security, capacity for love, and even the energetic frequency you bring into the world. In the context of emotional intelligence, this is essential. If you don't feel light, calm, peaceful, or energized in your body, something within you is asking to be processed, released, or healed. Without that alignment, you live disconnected from who you are meant to become. What would your life look like if you were genuinely happy and at peace? These three parts, the mind, the heart, and the body, are the foundation of emotional intelligence. They also help you understand the emotional maturity of others. We're living through a stress endemic where people are overwhelmed, overworked, and overstressed, which results in reactiveness, outbursts, and rude comments. But at the core, people aren't bad. When someone reacts poorly, it's usually because one of their pieces is out of balance. If someone is snappy or reactive, they may need to rewire their mind to develop self regulation, emotional maturity, and better stress management skills. If someone is distant or avoidant, they likely need to reconnect with their heart to feel safe giving or receiving love, connecting, and being present. If someone is restless, jittery, or unable to be still, their nervous system is overactive. They need to reprogram their body for calm and safety. So, next time someone's reaction frustrates you, can you pause before judging or fighting back? Instead, can you see through the lens of these three pieces, their mind, their heart, and their body, and ask yourself, which piece is disconnected? Most of the time, it's not that they don't care or love you. They're simply emotionally undeveloped, unavailable in one area or another. And because of this, they're unable to handle a trigger in their environment, in their relationships, or managing a circumstance. One of the greatest skills you can develop on your journey towards emotional intelligence is the ability to rise above your environment and the people around you. These two areas shape how you think, feel, and respond every single day of your life. When you can navigate these challenging conversations, the reactions of people, and the circumstances around you, and still remain grounded, like a palm tree standing tall in a hurricane, you'll know you've begun to master true emotional intelligence. Of course, though, this doesn't happen overnight. Growth takes effort, like a salmon swimming upstream. But once you commit to change, you begin shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And that's where everything transforms. You step into a world of continuously evolving where no challenge can hold you back. And you become someone you never even thought could have existed. Trust me, I once had a baby in the middle of partaking in a 5-day challenge. If there's a will, there's always a way. But you need to discover the strategies to make those things happen. You need to discover the step by step process that makes all of this possible because it matters the way you get there. It doesn't just happen. So, if you're ready to take your first step developing emotional intelligence and embodying alignment in your mind, heart, and body, I invite you to join our next 5-day challenge. Discover your missing piece so you can reclaim your power and reconnect with the life you are meant to live and the person you are meant to be. You can find the link to join in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more neuroscience backed tools to help you live with emotional freedom, confidence, and clarity, and allow others to find me so they can do the same. It's been a long 4 years, but I am honored to share each and every step with you because life is supposed to be loved. You got this. I'm rooting you on every step of the way.